This shot is what defined one of the biggest shoes to ever be created. What's up guys, it's SneakerKlev bringing you another video in the Sneaker Ball series, and today we're in for a giant treat because I'm going to talk about one of Nike's biggest shoes in one of their most popular lines. I've been looking forward to this day because this shoe is something truly special, and while I do throw that word around a lot on my channel, it doesn't make it any less true, and that's definitely the case here because today we're going to talk about a classic, a shoe that most people hold more dear to their hearts than their own mother, and a shoe that they would probably sell their mother for. I'm of course talking about the Air Jordan 4. The Air Jordan 4 released in 1989 during Jordan's 1988-89 NBA season, one of MJ's better seasons to be honest, averaging around 32.5 points and acquiring multiple title awards such as the scoring title, the all-defense title, and also making it to the All-Star game. This shoe truly saw a lot of action on and definitely also a lot off the court. The Air Jordan 4 released on the 2nd of February 1989 in two colorways, those being the black cement and white cement colorways. They are truly beautiful to look at and are definitely a must-have for any sneakerhead. The following summer also saw the release of the military blue 4s, and later in the winter we also saw the release of the fire red. Those four colorways stand as the OGs, and while we would see the 4 released in a bunch of other colorways later down the line, it's nice to see the original 4 that started it all. And while they truly are beautiful to look at, they also came with a hefty price of $110. And while it may not look as that much money nowadays, accounting for inflation, those $110 equaled to about $255 today. And it is also worth to note that a DS pair of OG 1989 Air Jordan 4s go for around more or less $1,000 today on eBay. If you struck out on a pair of 4s back in 1989, that really sucks because the silhouette would not see a re-release before 1999, a whole 10 years after the original release. The release also saw the Air Jordan 4 in some new colorways such as the Columbia and Oreo colorway. And while people appreciated Nike's move to retro the shoe, other sneakerheads weren't so pleased with it, and there's a big reason why. While the original release saw the 4s released with a Nike Air on the back, the Air Jordan 4s of 1999 had a Jumpman logo on the back. That confused and pissed a lot of people off because it took away the complete nostalgia feeling people had for the shoe. The main reason that this release had the Jumpman logo was that at this point in time, Jordan Brand was no longer just a shoe line for Nike. It had split up and was now its own company, which is the reason why the shoes of the 1999 model came with a Jumpman instead of the original Nike Air. Truly a shame, but they more than made up for it by releasing the Air Jordan 4 frequently and in a lot of new colorways. From 1999 to 2006, Jordan Brand released the Air Jordan 4 in 13 new colorways, and it wouldn't be until 2006 that we saw the re-release of an OG colorway, which was the military 4s. It's also worth to note that for some reason the release saw the shoes take on a different shape than their OG counterparts. This was due to some problems with the original mold and led to a bunch of angry customers, which in the end led to the creation of the Nike Remaster program, which was Jordan Brand's initiative to make sure that the next releases of the Air Jordan 4 came as close to the original OG shoe as possible. There are many reasons why the Air Jordan 4 is regarded as one of the more popular Jordan shoes, but people in the sneaker community say that there are 3 main reasons why. The first one being one that I've already listed, which was that MJ himself had a great season with the shoe. The second one being the successful marketing campaign done with famous actor and director Spike Lee. As I mentioned in my Air Jordan 3 video, which I recommend you go watch to fully understand Spike Lee's involvement with the brand, he together with Nike released a series of commercials where he would play the character Mars Blackman and goof around alongside Michael Jordan in some of the best shoe commercials I've ever seen, some of which I'll play for you right now.
Yo! This is Mars Blackman, and this is my main man, Michael Jordan, and this is a pair of tight Air Jordans from Nike. This is something you can buy, and this is a patented, vicious, high-flying, 360 slam dunk. This is something you cannot do. Let me repeat myself. This you can buy. You cannot do this. Can. No!
But Spike Lee's involvement weren't just limited to commercials. You can also see his character wearing the Air Jordan 4 in the movie Do the Right Thing. In this film, we see Lee's character getting his Air Jordan 4 scuffed and being pretty upset about it. The third reason, and maybe the biggest one, is that Michael Jordan was wearing the Air Jordan 4 when he made The Shot. The Shot was MJ's famous last shot against the Cleveland Cavaliers in the 1989 fifth game of the first round in the NBA playoffs. With only 3 seconds left on the clock, Michael managed to score the last 2 points that would take the Bulls to the semi-finals. This was one of those magical basketball moments that you just don't see enough of, and it just feels like a movie. It is actually so famous, in fact, and talked about, that it has its own Wikipedia article. I mean, it's just insane. And also, if you type in The Shot on Google Images, you'll get a lot of pictures like these. It's really funny and awesome in my opinion, and it's one of those moments you wish you were there to witness. These 3 reasons and more is the reason why the Air Jordan 4 is regarded as one of the most popular Jordans out there, and one that you can easily find on any sneakerhead's top 3 list over his favorite Jordans, and is also a must-have in any sneaker collection. Okay, now that we've talked about the history, let's take a look at the overall design of the shoe. Now, as you know, Tinker Hatfield was responsible for the look of the Air Jordan 4. This was his second shoe of the brand, and with the success of the Air Jordan 3, it was easy to say that the bar was set pretty high. And all in all, I think he nailed it. Hatfield said that for this shoe he wanted it to have a bigger focus on performance, something that's clearly seen when you look at the added ankle support through the straps, or wings as some people call them, on the side of the shoe, alongside the knitted padding on the midfoot and the Nike Air Bubble unit for extra cushioning. It is also worth to note that aside from some models like the Oreo 4, the Air Jordan 4 comes in a nubuck suede upper instead of traditional leather, a fine new detail that helped change the way some people looked at basketball shoes. But as I mentioned before, the Air Jordan 4 saw a whole lot of new releases in different colorways after 2006, such as the Lightning, the Cool Grays, the 89 Alternatives, the Red Toros, the Fear Pack, and so on and so forth. Of the more noticeable colorways are the Cavs colorway, which released in 2012 to honor the memory of the last shot, and also the Mars Blackman 4s, which are basically the Air Jordan 4 Fire Red colorway with a Mars Blackman logo on the side. And while some of these colorways are cool, the Air Jordan 4 also saw some expensive and hyped colorways, such as the Eminem Encore 4, the Eminem Kaha 4, and the Air Jordan 4 Undefeated, which are without a doubt the most expensive Air Jordan 4s you can buy, with prices ranging from $25,000 to $50,000 and more. $50,000! And that's with a Jumpman on the back. Can you imagine the price if it had a Nike Air logo? I mean, that's just an insane price to pay for a pair of shoes that you probably won't wear, since a take down the condition tree will cost you around $5,000. And it's just unfair because they are really cool, all of them. But they're unfortunately just too expensive to wear, unless you are literally using $100 bills as toilet paper. I'm looking at you, LeBron. Some of the hyped newer releases of the Air Jordan 4 are the Cos 4 in both black and gray, the Levi's 4 and the Dornbecker 4s, which is just an interesting shoe. I mean, they all are, but especially the Dornbecker one, which is a topic I'll cover in a future video because the history behind the Dornbeckers is actually pretty interesting. Some other honorable mentions are the different Air Jordan Pinnacle 4s like the Obsidian, the Snakeskin and Pony Hair 4s, which look really cool in my opinion, but my favorite of the bunch are definitely the Obsidian ones. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we are at my favorite part in the video where I get to give my own opinion on the Air Jordan 4s, and I don't think it's any secret that I, alongside many other sneakerheads, love this shoe. And I would personally place it on my list as my second favorite Jordan, right behind the Air Jordan 1, because hey, you just can't beat the original. But all jokes aside, I love what Hatfield did with this shoe. It's really unique and it stands out from when you compare it to other shoes from that era. And imagine, when this shoe first came out, people didn't really like it. But with time and alongside the achievements that Jordan accomplished in this shoe, they soon changed their minds, and that's what's most important about the Air Jordan 4, the history behind the shoe. It's truly one of Jordan Brand's best models, and it's easy to understand why people still buy the Air Jordan 4 to this day. I personally own 4 pairs of the Air Jordan 4, all in different colorways, and I love them. Hopefully we will see the release of the black cement 4s with a Nike on the back soon, so both you and I can cop that model as well. But that's all I have for you guys. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, leave a comment down below with your guesses on which colorways you think I have in my collection, and tell me which ones you have. And also remember to subscribe for more sneaker history. I will see you next time.